Do you guys ever feel like you are a totally different person at night? A person that can't stop eating the cookies, the cakes, all of the things? Yeah, I've been there. In this video, we're gonna go over the 3 reasons why you cannot stop eating at night and what you can do to fix it. So first of all, I just wanna make it very clear that eating at night is not a bad thing, you guys. Having hunger at night is not bad. All of those diet culture rules that say you should not eat past XYZ time, totally bogus, right? Bottom line, if you are feeling hunger, you need to eat, and that is regardless of what time it is at. I don't care if it is midnight, right? You still, if your body's giving you signals that you're hungry and you need to eat, you can still eat, right? But also, it's okay to eat at night if you're not necessarily biologically feeling hunger cues. There's this thing called taste hunger. Sometimes we have specific cravings, and it's important to honor those, right? We want to obviously do it in a way that allows us to still feel good and not, oh my gosh, I'm so stuffed. But we'll also talk about how some of those cravings you may be causing. But bottom line, guys, I want to make sure that it's aware that it's fine to eat at night, right? I frequently have bedtime snacks at like 9 o'clock at night. Totally fine. Don't be scared of it, especially at night. Totally fine. If we go to bed, we ignore our hunger, we're likely not gonna get restful sleep. That can actually throw off our hunger cues. That can throw off so many biological functions if we don't have proper sleep. And going to bed hungry can hinder that sleep. And let's just be real, it's not fun to be in bed and having a grumbly tummy. Just eat. Comment below if you can definitely relate to that, especially when dieting, going to bed, feeling this grumbling in your tummy. It's not fun. I can definitely relate. Okay, so now let's get into those 3 reasons of why you cannot stop eating at night. The first reason is because you're not eating enough during the day. So when this happens, typically this is we have been quote unquote good on our diets all day long, and then at night it's like, again, we turn into a different person, the switch flips, and we can't stop eating all the things. This is a biological mechanism. This is not a failure on your part because you failed the diet. This is your body basically saying, whoa, I have not eaten enough during the day. I gotta make up for it now, right? So this is a very, very common phenomena that happens when we are dieting. Like I said, it is not a failure on your part. It is our biological drive to make up the energy that we're not giving it during the day. So if you are finding that I feel like I just cannot stop eating at night, try eating more during the day, because then you're going to lessen that biological need to eat all of the things at night if you allow yourself to have enough energy during the day. Bottom line, you gotta eat enough, right? Otherwise that biological drive is going to be there. That's why dieting is no bueno. The second reason why you may not be able to stop eating at night is because you are either restricting overall foods or you're restricting certain foods during the day. So this can look like maybe you are trying to eat clean and you don't allow yourself to eat the cookies, or maybe you just deem the cookies as bad. Both of those things can cause you to have that drive to eat at night. And I kind of want you to envision this craving for the cookies as kind of like building throughout the day, right? So in the morning, you're probably like, oh, I don't need cookies. But as you restrict them throughout the day, like I said, it's almost like you're building this craving. And by the time evening comes, when you likely are also having that biological urge to have food if you're dieting, it's going to come in and be like, oh my gosh, I need these, right? So one thing that you can do, stop restricting the food, right? If you want the cookies, eat the cookies, obviously, no matter what time of the day it is. And also work towards neutralizing foods. That means not viewing them as good or bad. Even viewing a food as good or bad, even if you allow yourself to eat it, is going to increase your urge to eat it, right? It's kind of like telling a 5-year-old, like, hey, don't press this big red button. We're just gonna wanna press that big red button. So if we say, hey, you shouldn't have these cookies, even if we allow ourselves to have those cookies, we're gonna wanna smack that red button and eat all the cookies, right? We want to rebel against those rules and restrictions. It is normal. So what you want to do is you want to neutralize those foods, right? You want to label cookies as just cookies. They're not good, they're not bad, they're just cookies. That helps you to be more able to eat them in a way that feels good to you and not necessarily like these large amounts that doesn't feel good. Or on the alternative, to be like, I shouldn't have the cookies, don't eat the cookies, and you obsess over the cookies, right? Cookies can, I know it sounds crazy, but as an intuitive eater, cookies can just be normal. They can just be cookies. One tip that I tell members of the Society Intuitive Eating membership community where I do all my teaching is that if you find that you are having certain cravings for things at night, for instance, for me, it was ice cream. I would have ice cream every single night and it was a super strong pull to have the ice cream. Try eating that food earlier in the day. That means maybe you have ice cream after lunch, right? Maybe you have ice cream as part of a snack, but you kind of disassociate that food with that specific time in the evening, because there's likely some of that all or nothing thinking coming into play. If you are saying, okay, I'm allowing myself to have ice cream in the evening, then it is probably going to be what's going to go through your brain subconsciously or consciously is, okay, I can only have ice cream right now. I'm not going to get it for 24 more hours at least. So I better eat enough of it while I can and get my fill. It's a lot of this all or nothing thinking that we start to have. So it's like, oh, better get it now. And that likely causes us to eat past fullness and feeling like we cannot stop. The third reason why you may feel like you cannot stop eating at night is because there could be some emotional eating going on there. And we talk about this a lot in the society, that emotional eating is very, very common at night in terms of we're looking for some sort of stress relief, right? We've had a long day behind us and maybe we're stressed, maybe we're anxious, maybe we just need some comfort at the end of a long day. And a lot of times we turn to food for that, right? I have an entire video on emotional eating that I can link to up there for you. Not all emotional eating is bad, so you definitely want to give that a watch. But with this sense of emotional eating, a lot of times when it comes to especially eating at night, like I said, we do just kind of want that stress relief. We want that release that has kind of built up during the day. So we turn to food and we expect food to fill that void. And while food can give you a pick-me-up temporarily, it's not going to fix the stress of the bad day, right? It's not necessarily going to do the things that you're expecting it to. It's more of kind of like this temporary solution. So one thing I teach in the society is called the emotional eating algorithm, and it really helps with emotional eating because it's something that a lot of people struggle with. So kind of to break it down, what it is basically you first ask yourself, if you're having this pull to eat this food, you ask yourself, am I hungry? Do I actually want this food, right? That's the first thing. If you're having a craving, it is important to honor it. And like we already talked about, it's important to honor our biological hunger. So you want to kind of assess for those two things. But then you want to ask yourself, sometimes it's like, well, no, the ice cream, it's fine, but I don't necessarily want it, right? Ask yourself, what else are you searching for? For me, a lot of the times in the evening when I was going for the ice cream, I just wanted comfort, right? I had a stressful day. I just wanted to relax. Maybe it's boredom. You feel like you have nothing else to do. Maybe it's anxiety and we feel like that's going to give us a distraction. Take a look and see if there's some sort of emotional eating there. And the next piece of the algorithm is, okay, so we assess our emotion, then we ask ourselves, what can I do to actually handle that emotion and actually productively to address it, right? So we want to say, okay, if I'm searching for comfort, maybe that's cuddling on the couch with your significant other or your dog. How can you relieve stress? How can you ease anxiety? Maybe it's an adult coloring book, but what can you do to actually handle that emotion versus trying to avoid feeling it and working through it by using food as a way to cope with that, right? We do not want food to be our sole coping mechanism. So back to that emotional eating algorithm, we go there and then we ask ourselves, we reassess, right? We allow ourselves time to handle that emotion and then we reassess. Do I still want that food? Does that still feel like something that I'm having that pull towards? And again, at that time, addressing, am I feeling biologically hungry? Am I feeling a specific craving? And then if you still are, allow yourself to eat that food mindfully. But moral of the story here, we want to be aware of if we are using food as another way to cope with those emotions, right? We do not want that to be our sole coping mechanism. I feel like we're just hitting the top of the iceberg with emotional eating, so definitely go watch that other video. I'll link to it, like I said, up there and in the description. Those are really, like I said, the top 3 reasons why we feel like we cannot stop eating at night. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to kind of assess this and ask yourself, which of these 3 do I feel like I am struggling with the most? What do I feel like my reasoning for feeling like I cannot stop eating at night is? Is it that you're not eating enough during the day? Is it that you are restricting foods, either, not letting yourself eat them, viewing them as good or bad, only eating them at night? Or is it possibly emotionally eating that you're having? Comment below, let me know what you're gonna do to work through those. When you become an intuitive eater, you really do take all of those three things and you solve them, right? That is what intuitive eating is. It is developing a healthy relationship with food, it is fueling your body adequately, and it is allowing yourself to feel your best mentally and physically. That is intuitive eating. It is not just eating the donuts and the cupcakes and the cookies all day long like you see all over social media. Yes, you can eat those things without guilt and it's fabulous, but it's not just eating those things. Yes, as an intuitive eater, I do enjoy veggies and fruit and all the nutrient-dense things. I'll link way more resources for you in the description to learn more about intuitive eating and see if it's the right fit for you. I also have a really good quiz that I can link for you that's gonna tell you what's holding you back from actually doing true intuitive eating. Definitely take that quiz and I'll give you a workbook to help you overcome it based on your results. So good, thousands of you have taken it and have said it is so helpful. So I'll link to that in the description for you to take. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe down there, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video is uploaded. We talk all about intuitive eating, learning to listen to your body, developing a style of eating that feels good, both mentally and physically, and includes both carrots and cookies alike. So definitely be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys back next week with another video.